This is Shawn Irwin, your Youth Director with Darts Ontario, and welcome to episode 34 of Darts Ontario Let's Talk Darts. I wanted to talk to our youth players from past and present to see how they got into darts and their story to help inspire the youth dart players of today. Today's a little different interview as we have a special guest that didn't play youth darts but had a big impact on youth darts and Darts Ontario. Thank you to our sponsor, SSS Canada, for all their support in the Darts Ontario organization. Go to their Facebook page to see the high quality custom dart shirts, which you can order for your team and individually. I'm with Debbie Burch, former youth leader of the Merritton Youth Dart League, also former youth zone director with Darts Ontario, and current Darts Ontario adult zone director. Thank you so much, Debbie, for coming on and doing an episode with Darts Ontario Let's Talk Darts. So how are you doing today?
Good, Shawn. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Really appreciate you coming on. You've got a lot of great history working with the youth players. So we're going to talk a little bit about you playing darts. And so when did you first start playing darts and how old were you?
Well, I never played as a youth, unfortunately, never knew it existed. But I started playing at about 20 years old. So that's, I guess, 37 years ago, 37 years. And just started playing at Romby's in the city after work and playing with the old guys, some of the guys that, used to play zones and whatnot. And they taught me, and that's how I started playing.
So who inspired you to play competitively?
Competitively, I guess just my own dart team joined a female league here in the city and did really, really well right away. And they all encouraged me to go out to zones and play what was, and I didn't even know what zones was, never heard of Darts Ontario, and went out that year and made provincials every year since then.
Oh, geez, you've done well then. So are you currently playing in a league right now? And if it wasn't for COVID, would you be playing in a league, of course?
No, I play online right now in a league. I decided to get back into it this year. I've had some injuries with my shoulder off and on, as most people know, for about 5 years, and trying to get that under control. And I'm going to take this year and embrace it. And I want to get back in competitively, but I haven't played actually in a league here for several years, other than I played Steve Warnock's singles league off and on for the past 5.
And how's the online darts been for you?
I love it. There's nothing better to me than being able to play in my pajamas in a ponytail. And you know what? I love it. I can go to my fridge, grab a beer if I want one, and I don't have to, it's a whole different ballgame when you're playing out of your own basement. You're comfortable.
Well, I think right now this is the new norm, because if you really want to play darts and get better, it's going to have to be playing at home and playing online.
Yeah, that's so it seems.
So how often, when you played competitively, did you practice and did you practice during the off season as well?
So when I was playing competitively, and I still do, Bruce and I are traveling still into the States. We should be in Myrtle Beach this week. So we started, I guess I always played leagues maybe 3 to 4 times a week. And then back in 2006, Bruce and I started playing pretty much every night. And, with our focus being making Team Ontario in 2007. So we were playing almost every night.
And how do you prepare yourself for a big match and getting yourself focused?
Before a big match, you throw at the board, you make sure that you're settled with your water, with your, comfort level, and just being comfortable on the hockey at that particular board. And then I kind of just try to tune out the noise, whether it's people talking to me, around me, the music, anything like that. You just try to tune it out. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
And when you're at the board, sometimes you're playing a match and your opponent shoots a 140, a 180. And how are you reacting with that and the pressure of that?
Well, like I try to teach the youth, I don't look at the other opponent's score very much. I mean, I rely on the scorekeeper probably a little bit too much. And I do glance at it, but I try not to look at the actual scoring. And then I just play the board. So it doesn't matter to me if somebody's hitting 180. I'm going up and I still have to do my thing.
And in the end, sometimes the 180 is a curse and you miss your double.
More times than not. For sure.
Now, what's the best part of competing for you and the most important part of darts?
The best part of competing is just that thrill of the moment, that adrenaline rush, um, you know, just being in the moment of that particular match. And it really doesn't matter if it's a league match or on stage at the nationals. I still get that same little rush. And the best part of playing darts overall is just the amount of friendships over the years and the people and the sharing of the wealth, sharing my experiences, getting experiences from other people. It's a
It's
package.
it's a big community, a big family in the dart community for sure.
Completely family. Yep.
So after a good performance, the match is over, you won a match. What's the one thing you like to do?
Breathe, breathe. Um, just kind of see the people. I just need a hug usually. People that know me know I need hugs. And I need that. I need to feel that support. So for me, it's finding the first person that's willing to give me that hug. And, that's what I go for after a match, win or lose.
I'll remember that. So let's talk about your results playing Darts Ontario. You mentioned 2007, you made the team. That was the first time you did, and you lost out in the semifinals to Dolores Clucher. Take us
Cliche.
back, Cloutier. Take us
Yes.
back to 2007 and the match against Donna Plumidor in the round of 16, where the winner made Team Ontario.
That was crazy because I didn't realize I was in the round to make the team. Uh, Bruce, it was funny because a lot of us, we were watching each other. And although I was in the match, I didn't quite realize I made the team until I actually made the team. So somebody said it in the crowd. And I just remember the tears and the excitement. And I honestly didn't even remember who I played the next day when we were talking about it. So it was just all a whirlwind. And, I was so happy because I tried for so many years.
So how, I guess you didn't have that much pressure in that round of 16 because you didn't realize you're going to make the team.
Oh, I have pressure if I'm playing anybody in my own basement. I always feel the pressure. But I just didn't, I thought I had one more round to go. So the pressure was there most definitely because I just needed to keep winning to get to making the team. So whether, I knew it was round of 16 or round of 32, it's the pressure is still the same.
You've been playing zones and provincials for many years. Is there any highlights besides 2007 at provincials for you?
Many, many. I played, I played the late Debbie Ball. That was an amazing match one year in the round of 16. I've had so many great matches in the round of 16. Um, I can't even remember them all. I just had one against Marie Mason a couple of years ago that, it was so difficult to play. And the two of us were waiting for our next round to be called. And we kind of looked at each other and went, we're playing each other. So when you win or lose, those matches mean a lot. And so they're all memorable in some way.
Lots of great memories. And nationals in 2007, you went to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. In female doubles, you finished top 16 and top 32 in singles. How was that experience playing at nationals and playing such high caliber players?
It was the most amazing experience. That year I'll never forget. I was fortunate enough to make the team with Bruce and with our friend Brianne Menz and with Dolores. So to put four of us from the same zone onto the team, that in itself was amazing. And then to get out there and have each other's support, as well as Kim Whaley was one of my biggest mentors and support back then. And the whole week was amazing. And that's what I always wanted for the kids, taking that forward. And, I said, there's never going to be anything like it. So I've been to many nationals since then, not as a player, but as a supporter. And, that one will always stand out. And just the people you meet through the week, I still have friendships to this day with, Roxanne and Natalie and so many others. I can't even think of everybody right now, but yeah, so many friendships you make out there.
You do. So when did you first become a youth leader for, I guess, was it Niagara back then or Merritton? uh, for the youth players?
It's probably been close to 10 years in around that mark. I'm not quite sure, but I was helping Brian Whipper and Jeannie with their league, just out helping when I could at provincials. So I've been a part of the provincials with the youth for many years, just going out and helping mark games. And then Denver was playing with Whip here in Merritton. And, Whip and I always talked, and I said, when you're ready, Bruce and I are happy to take it over. And when he was ready, he called and we were ready to do it. So it's been, I think it was about 10 years ago.
And you've done very, very well. Your leagues down there with so many players have made the team. And this year, I know you stepped down and let Jamie and Lisa take over. And they just continued on with 3 players making the team once again.
Yes. Yeah. It was such a difficult decision. And, it had been coming for a couple of years. And, everybody has to move on at some point. And it was really difficult decision. And anyone that knows me knows it wasn't easy. But I was so confident in Jamie and Lisa's ability to take right over and just move in and, just help them along a little bit to get them comfortable. And they've just picked up where we've left off, and they're going to have continued success. And they're doing amazing, amazing work with the kids as well.
They sure have, and other leagues have recognized who they are already.
Mhm.
So our past youth director, Marjorie Elderdice, you were very close to her. When did you first meet Marjorie?
Probably, well, probably 30 plus years ago, as a player. But the biggest, our friendship started when I first made the team. I was at provincials, and I actually had an injury where I knocked out several boards lights. I kind of propelled into the board off the monkey, and she was the first one that came running over, and I had an injury timeout, and she provided me with some pain relief because I thought I broke my leg. And so that's when our friendship started, and that has to be, I would say, 98 or 99, somewhere in there.
She's done amazing for the dart community, for the youth, and for adults, and all across Canada. Everyone loved her for everything she's done.
Yeah, and she's still missed to this day.
Yep.
For me.
Nobody will ever forget her. So you've been a big help, though, over the years with the youth program, either running the zone shoots, helping out provincials, and I believe you went to 1 or 2 nationals with the youth program.
So 2015, when we hosted, Marjorie had me as sort of a backup helper, director, youth support, because she was running everywhere, all over the place, trying to run the nationals. So she kind of put me in a little position there. So I actually got to spend a lot of time with the team that year, and it was even nicer because Denver and Dylan were actually on the team that year. And a lot of the kids that I have watched grow over the years made the team that year. Latressa and Travis, and we've always been big supporters of them. And Michael DeGroot. So I actually got to be a part of them, and everything from having breakfast to doing their outings, and it was a lot of fun, and it meant the world to me.
Yeah, you've got to know Mackenzie Kingsmill and Stephanie McKinney, who actually was in your league a couple years ago. What a great team we had in that 2015.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about Stephanie. Stephanie actually came to live with me while she went to Brock University.
Oh,
So,
great. I didn't know.
yeah, and that's where I actually met her the year before, a couple of years before that. But that year, yeah, it was so much fun, so much fun.
Tell us about the love you have had over the years working with the youth and the Darts Ontario program.
Oh, well, I've always said, our youth program is second to none, and will remain that way, in my opinion. I mean, it's just amazing. I don't know. It's hard sometimes to put into words. I mean, without getting too emotional, because everybody that knows me, the kids, I have the love for the kids of all Ontario, not just our own. Yeah. Watch these kids grow up, and you see them at tournaments, and you can build relationships with them and help mentor. It's not just about the darts. It's also, you're mentoring them just in life, right? And a lot of kids, they come to you with strange questions. They need some advice, a lot of things. So it means the world to me because, you watch them grow and you watch them become adults and then enter the dart world, and they're so respected. A lot of our youth players, you can tell the youth players when they come up into the adults, they're very respectful. And, that all comes from the youth programs of Ontario.
We teach about sportsmanship and knowing how to win and knowing how to lose. And that's what's so important. And that's what makes a big difference when they do play the adult program.
Yeah, it's one of the first things we teach is, unless you're Phil Taylor. We used to say Phil Taylor, and some of the kids now that join, they're not quite sure who that is. But we used to say, unless you're Phil Taylor, you're going to lose more matches in your dart career than you'll ever win.
Yeah.
And it's the fact, and therefore you have to learn how to lose, because it's going to be a regular occurrence for all of us.
It sure is. So tell us about now that you're no longer with the youth. Well, you're still going to be there with them, but you're running the adult zone shoots. How long have you been the adult zone director?
I think Bruce and I have been doing it now we might be going into 7 years, but I did it again in the 90s. Or the 2000s, early 2000s, I was a youth director, or adult director back then as well, and then took a break. And then we came back. I think it's been 6 years now.
So in the game of darts, we really have to become an expert at calculating. And I know you've done incredible, especially teaching with the kids and Bruce teaching with the kids. How have you been able to be so good at knowing what to shoot for and knowing what to leave yourself?
Picking good partners.
That's great.
No, it's just math. You just have to learn the tricks. We call it the tricks of the trade. There's little tricks to learning math. And once you've got those down, and those are hard to teach because the math is being taught in a different way in school. So Bruce is always the math teacher. He teaches the tools and the math, and I always teach like the emotional side of it and the mental part of it. So we have a good balance there. But for me, the math has always been easy. Doesn't always come that easy to everybody, but yeah, and I don't always use the right or finish properly, or sometimes I make mistakes. We all do. Everybody does.
Well, we're always learning, and that's how I learned math so well, is playing darts as a youth player myself.
Yeah, I'm still learning. I'll play in the States, and Darren Young just taught me a different way to finish a certain number last year. So something I just never really thought about, and sometimes I go the comfort way, and he explained it to me why I shouldn't be doing that way. So even at my age, you're still learning, and that's what it's all about, right?
One example of that is, just the last few years, I realized 90. I was always going bullseye double 20 or triple 18, double 18. But then, some players said, no, you go triple 20s and 20s. So maybe you leave yourself a bullseye.
Yeah, exactly. There's different ways. And even the pros in England are doing outs just a little different right now. We saw that this morning with Jeff, right? He 72 in a way that we don't necessarily teach today.
So any other stories or memories in the youth dart program you'd like to share?
Oh gosh, too many, I think.
Yeah.
I think that one of the most amazing years for Bruce and I was the year that we had 4 junior boys in the top 4. No, 3, sorry. So 3 junior boys in the top 4. And I think Denver mentioned it in his interview. He was playing Austin and Dylan was playing another player. And Bruce and I looked at each other at the start of the match and we said, one of us will take the winner and one will take the loser, because we knew they were going to need our support. And it was a tough match, but it was very, just the way they embraced each other in the end. And Denver was more concerned about his friend Austin than hit the player Austin. So that is means a lot to me. Just also, our club has done amazing work raising. We've done food drives for our community, and they've just all pitched in, and we've brought in pounds and pounds, 600 pounds of food 2 years in a row. So they embrace that side of it as well, and it's always more than just the darts, and we say that all the time. But those are the memories I have, the memories of Darien Lake. We take a bunch of them to Darien Lake for a week every year, and those memories, there's too many to even talk about, but a lot of fun. And I take with them my whole life. We
It's
go to weddings now for some of the kids we've taught darts to. So
it's a lot of team building, and we're not just playing darts, like you said. We're teaching them goals in life as well. So set your goals.
absolutely.
So we've talked about this Bruce guy a few times here. So Bruce Davey, and you have made quite the impact on the youth players in the dart life for sure. Bruce has done incredible over the years in darts and making the team many times. How much
Mhm.
practice and dedication would you say it takes to what he has accomplished?
Uh, you know, so he's kind of an abnormal, what's the word? He's a little bit abnormal, I guess. It comes natural for some people, and for Bruce, it does. Now, that's not to say he doesn't practice, because he does play 2 or 3 leagues a year, and he's putting time on the board. But for youth, we tell them, you get out of it what you put into it. So if you want to make that team and you want to do well at tournaments and you want to keep going, you have to practice. And you have to practice a lot. It's not just, throwing 20 darts at the board and calling it a practice session. You have to put the time on the board, and it has to be on a regular basis.
We see it so often that a youth player goes to provincials, they're out on day one and they're so sad, but then you look back as they really need to practice and try and learn their outs if they want to
Yeah,
go farther.
that's it. And we always have set goals with the kids. You set your own goal, and then you have to work to achieve it. So if your goal is to hit a 180 all weekend, then that's your goal, and that's okay. If your goal is to make it to Sunday, then you have to figure out how you're going to achieve that goal.
Yeah, for sure. So what other hobbies do you have besides darts?
Um, well, a lot of community service, which I can't do right now. Um, I don't know. I do a lot of stuff. Let's see. Football, I'm a huge football fan, huge baseball fan. So I do like my sports, but I'm a chair athlete, I hate to say these days. Um, I don't know. Right now it's kind of hard to think, right? We're all in the
Yeah,
same boat with COVID.
we are
So
just,
I
yeah.
guess one of my biggest things right now is puzzling. I do jigsaw puzzles a lot, but now that I'm back to work, that's taken kind of a backseat too. So
I did that in April when I was off for a month and did some puzzles, and I just was just dying to get back to work. So
yeah. But we do a lot of hiking. Bruce and I hike, and we take some of the, Trey and Emma, they're hiking with us quite a bit, and walking in the summer, swimming. So yeah, we do other things other than darts for sure.
well, we're always improving in life, anything we do. And what's the one thing you need to really work on to help you take into the next level in the game of darts?
Yeah, I have to put more time on the board, because I've been very lax in doing that the last several years. So if I'm going to make a serious run at it this year, I do have to get on that board a lot more than I'm doing. Right now, I'm doing about 3, 4 times a week again. So that's helping. But I do have to really get into some practice games and, get back to work, back to basics.
Well, we know you're going to be playing provincials next year if we can beat this COVID and have a chance to go to nationals, which will be in Nova Scotia next year.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yep, for sure. So as we wrap this up, one more question. Any advice you can give to the youth to follow your success, but also the success you have taught your youth that have made Team Ontario? As most players, that's their ultimate goal.
Yeah, so just, it's a team thing, it's a team building. It can't always be just about you. You do have to embrace what's going on around you in your youth league. Um, Take that opportunity to really embrace that. Learn how to lose gracefully, practice, and listen to. One thing that really I would highly recommend to the youth players: get out to provincials if you can, to bigger tournaments, mark the matches for the adults. You learn so much just by marking, and we really encourage that. So, that's a big thing. And listen to people, listen to the adults when they're giving you advice. Please don't think you know everything, because we don't, even at our age. You never know everything. So just always embrace when you are giving constructive criticism, and that'll take you far in life.
It sure is. We're always learning in life, anything we do in life for sure, no matter how old we are.
That's
So thank you, Debbie, so much for doing this. Really appreciate it. We wish you all the best in reaching your goals. Hopefully we see you at some tournaments and of course provincials next year. And let's play some darts.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Shawn, for having me, and good luck. And you're doing a fabulous job with the youth.
Thank you very much. You have a great day.
You too. Get out and enjoy this nice weather.
You as well. Bye now.
Shawn.
That was great talking to Debbie Burch. She's done so much in the youth program in the Niagara, St. Catharines area for the leagues down there. Make sure you go to our website at www.dartsontario.ca to find out all the information about our organization and like the Darts Ontario Facebook page so you get all the updates. Are you a current or former youth player in the Darts Ontario program? Would you like to be on one of our episodes? Please email me at youth@dartsontario.com. This is Shawn Irwin, your youth director with Darts Ontario, and make sure you check out our next interview on episode 35 of Darts Ontario Let's Talk Darts. Thanks for watching and see you next time.